All right. So we are in 2026 budget season, and that's why we really gathered everybody here today as we realized everybody's starting to plan and the economy's been crazy. So let's go ahead and give you guys a preview of what's coming this year, what's changing, what's new, what's working, and get your perspective as well. I'm going to stop looking at the chat for a minute. So if you have questions, put them in there and we'll get through, kind of through the various sections. We can talk through them a little bit. All right. So the first thing, thank you for joining the Turning Recognition into Marketing ROI. We're going to go through a bunch of different stuff today. We'll go through all of our programs, kind of the award schedule. And like I said, the new stuff, what's working, and then also points of where you can join this community and get engaged and help us out too. And really make the programs, more your own and what you guys want. So you've already registered to join, which we appreciate. And thanks for joining today. So this is our 14th award season. It started out in 2012 when I was working in a corporate marketing job of kind of having this idea to build something that was a little bit less stodgy than your normal awards program. And so in 2012, in this horrible website, do you remember, did you ever see this website, Ellie?
Yes.
We finally moved on to a little bit more greater things. I had to go back to the Wayback Machine to get all these pictures. And it was fun clicking around because I haven't seen these in so long. And so through the years, we've added programs, changed our website. And now in 2021, right before COVID or right during COVID, we launched a new website, give us a little more polished look. And that's where we are today. And we're really building off of this and turning it into a platform, really so that everyone can leverage the tools and the judges and all that is to offer by our platform. So we want to say thank you to all the participants over the years. This has been really an amazing journey for me, for Ellie, and for everybody involved in this, is just to see all these smiling faces, to see all the work and the progress that people are making. It's very humbling for us to do this. And I really appreciate everybody's, working on it. So I also have to thank all of our judges. We have such an astounding judging panel. If you haven't checked them out, please go do. You just go up to beintelligence.com and click on judges anywhere. And you can see these judges. You can see what they've judged. You can go to their LinkedIn profile. You can do anything you want. You can see who's judged every program. This is Sharab. He's one of our great judges. He's a founder of Varex and a couple of other companies. He's judged a bunch of programs for us, including the Stratus 2025 awards. And then we have just everybody. Nardan, we've just interviewed on a podcast. Check that out. And just everybody from everyday businesses, all these great experts judging our nominations. And so really spend a couple of minutes, if you can, going through the judges. Go ahead and click the QR codes down there at the bottom. If you want to join the judging panel, it's very fun. It's easy. And you get to see a bunch of great technology and bunch of great stories. So the other big thanks is to Eliana, and I haven't really introduced her yet. She is your Chief Nominations Officer, and we'll hear from her in a second. She also is amazing to me. You can linked in with her on the left there on that QR code. There's QR codes throughout the presentation, so get your phones out. She's also an entrepreneur and a great mom and a great wife to Pete. And she started a business a couple of years ago, buying into Dairy Joy. And it's just been a joy watching her be such a great entrepreneur. So Ellie, thanks for joining me and thanks for being on the journey here.
Thank you for having me. I love big. It's part of my life.
It is. We've been doing this for too long together, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So now you've met us. We'll talk about 2026, and we really call it Powering the People because we want really those faces to shine and that recognition to shine on all those faces. So the first thing I wanted to do is just view awards and what they mean to your brand. And when you think about your brand overall, you have to think about which kind of categories and what kind of awards you want to win and what your goals of the nomination are. And so we've broken it down into three different types. And if you look across any different number of awards programs, you'll find these three types. And so it's organizations, what's going to elevate your brand is this Company of the Year awards, that type of thing, or Innovator of the Year. You're going to look for product awards to validate your product. So if you want to get that product validation, you just launched something, you want to win an award for it, this is those types of awards. So product award categories. And then of course, people. This is to me the most important and the most underutilized category in our platform here. There's tons of programs for people and opportunities to reward your people. And so I just calling out to everybody to really, think about your people and think about the recognition and the importance of recognition to your people. We've also added teams this year in a lot of our categories. So it's not just a single member, you can reward an entire team. And that can be cross-functional or within a department. So just a little clarity on kind of the types of awards as you go into your award season, as you go into your planning and your strategy, look across the different categories and try to have a mix of all of these is what I'd recommend. So as you go into the year, we really start off our year with the Big Innovation Awards, and it's currently open. We're accepting nominations for this, and you'll see some of our nomination boosters coming out. Nomination boosters are new to us, Ellie. I think you actually suggested that to me a couple of years ago. We've talked to everybody. So if you want a nomination boost, when you boost, we'll actually put out social media messages that you're now in the contest. Gives you a little buzz around social media and highlight your brand a little bit. So this is our Big Innovation Awards. This is one of our oldest programs, as you can see here. This is one of the proudest ones. Ellie, do you remember when Benji Lock won?
Yes, and he was the first one that called us, and I think I was on the phone when he was still talking to uh, the tank, the fish tank or whatever.
The Shark Tank, the fish tank,
Shark
the
Tank.
Shark Tank.
Yeah, and he was super excited, and I think that was probably one of the most rewarding things to talk to him. He participated with us until he sold the company, but he did it year over year, and he was truly um, probably our very first advocate for the awards because he um, couldn't express to us how grateful he was that he found us because he gave him exposure. And as a thank you to us, he actually mentioned us in an interview he did. I don't know if you remember that as well.
I do.
Uh,
I remember, but we had to jump through hoops to kind of get him his award
yeah.
quickly
Yes, yes,
with the manufacturer because he was going on the tank.
yes.
And then I think he ended up at CES too, and all sorts. And this is a picture from CES, but and from the tank, as you can see up at the top. But this is a great program. This is it's not a contest, and this is unique to our programs here. This is the only one that's really not a contest. You are measured against a benchmark, and we set that benchmark based on the nominations that we get. So basically, if the judges rule that you should win an award and you meet the benchmark criteria, then you're going to win. So you're not competing against yourself. You are competing against yourself. You're really just determining, how large an innovation that is and how those judges score it.
I would
Now, go ahead.
I would like to add to that a lot of people are confused in regards to, well, can I enter in this category? Can I enter in that category? Would I win? Would I not? The great the great thing about the innovation awards is it doesn't matter how many nominations you have in one category. It really is irrelevant. As long as the judges believe that your nomination is the top of them, it doesn't matter how many people you're competing against. Um, so the other thing I wanted to point out on the first slide is the biggest question all the time, what category should I enter under? And my answer is always the same. Well, what's your purpose of nominating? What do you want to
That's right.
achieve with it? It's not something I can respond to you or answer to you. Um, and so it is very important to have your goals aligned with what you want to get from this.
Yeah, that should be their first question is, in this program, what am I trying to do? Or in my award strategy, what am I trying to do? When I was in corporate marketing, we looked across all these domains to really figure out, who are the people we were going to win? Did we need to win a product award? Did we need to win organization awards? If you're going for investment rounds, if you're going for different types of, funding, you want to be shown as a great organization. We'll talk about the best places to work here in a moment, that award program. That's a great one to really build employee satisfaction and loyalty. And I'll show you how you can do that. So good point. This one is active now. We've been running this for 12 years. This is one of the originals or nearly one of the originals. And so you've got another week to get your nominations in. And then we announce the winners in January. And we always say, spark your year off with a win. Right. And so this is a great opportunity to kind of hit 2026 running. All right. Next one is the Best Places to Work Awards. This is bar none my favorite program because it's a useful kind of management tactic wrapped into an awards program. And so what I mean by that is we use a NPS style employee satisfaction survey to determine winners. And so what does that mean? It means that this is a contest and that you're competing against different industry companies of the same size, the same like as you. And when you, after all is said and done and we pick the winners, what happens is you get that data back. You get all of your employee satisfaction data back. And we offer two different satisfaction surveys. One is a simple 10-question survey. If you already run a deep survey and you just need a quickie to get this done, it's 5 or so questions of demographic data and then 5 or so questions of NPS style data. The NPS style, sorry for anybody that doesn't know, is Net Promoter Score. It's basically those questions that you get of, are you likely to recommend this company or product to a friend or a relative or a colleague? And so those questions are asked in our short form if you already run a deeper employee engagement survey. If you don't, then you select our 20 question. It gives you a lot more data and a lot more questions about how your employees think about your business at this given point in time. And so that's why I always say it's kind of this 2-for-1. I really wanted to kind of show this off. And so I showed this to Ellie earlier. I was playing around with AI. And last year, people always ask us, how do you use the data? Can you show us? We usually do a webinar to show people how you can kind of import the data into Excel, run a couple pivot tables, and you can start to look at the data in different ways. You can look at, employee satisfaction by age or gender or tenure, different types of things, different questions. So it's very easy to do. And last year I tried working with an AI company to kind of help them help us get more use out of that data. And boy, what a difference a year makes. So this program, again, nominations are open. And so we close out, towards the end of the year. It's a very simple nomination. Nominations come in. It's literally just your company data. After that, we're going to give you all the employee surveys. We're going to give you everything to do. It's a very simple process. And so what I did was I went in and I created a little, Gemini AI question of just, here's the raw data from my results, and act like a data scientist and tell me what I could have done, to make my employees better. And so I ran this and I shortened it up a little bit so you didn't have to wait for all the time that it took to run this. It only took a minute or so. But I was amazed at the amount of detail and data that it gave back to me almost immediately. If you see those little download buttons, you can download those and throw them right into charts, show them to your CEO or whoever else, the head of HR, who else needs to know about, the happiness of employees. And so this actually identified a pretty big issue for the sample data that I provided of kind of mid-management and mid-tenure employees having kind of low satisfaction scores. And so if you want, you can check out the report that this really spit out. It's really impactful when you can see and get this type of reading on your employees, just through an awards program. And so this one, like I said, it is, you can sign up now and then the results come back, I think in early April. Ellie, did you have any memories on this one? I think you're on mute. Hold on one sec.
Because,
There you are.
oh, yeah.
Sorry, I had you on mute.
So a lot of things that separate us from other company awards is, one, we don't ever ask the employees information, contact, or anything like that. We don't want to know who they are. We want to keep it private and anonymous. So that's a huge thing that a lot of companies are scared of, is sharing all the contact details of their employees. So that is one. You have full control of how that survey is going to be run. The second thing, and I think the one of the most important things of this program, is that it's really up to you to get the benefit out of this and your return of investment. It's really not up to us. We can give you the tools, but if you don't use them, there goes, right? It's like going out to hunt and come back home with nothing. So it is like you really, really, really need to look at that data. And even if you don't win, you still benefit from this because you're getting to know your employees. But also, this could also be a guide for you to nominate your teams that are doing well in future programs. Okay, well, these employees are really happy in this company, and we are a cloud computing company. Why don't we give that back to them and say, you're a great team that works for this company and helps us succeed as well? So even though it's a separate program and is very different from others, you can work from this one to also reward or recognize your teams later on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll add, like you said, doing this program, you win because you get all the data, regardless of whether you get a trophy or not. It's so if you're not doing any sort of employee engagement, this is a huge easy way to do it, I think.
Another
And
thing that
so
people get confused with this program is when you enter and nominate does not mean that the survey starts when you enter and nominate. And it doesn't
that's
mean
right.
that the survey needs to be completed by the deadline. It just simply is to say, I'm going to participate, and then we will give a date for the survey to be run, which is approximately 4 weeks.
Yeah, and everybody should hit that QR code again in the bottom. That'll take you right to the Best Places to Work Awards webpage. From there, you can this program's open, so you'll be able to download the nomination guide. All of that timeline is in the nomination guide. All the details, all the satisfaction surveys. You can look at those surveys. So all the details are in there. All you need to do is download that guide, and it is open. We haven't announced that it's open. Sorry, Ellie, but it's open now.
You have it, I have.
So go grab that report. I'll show one more time. Just grab that report. It's really pretty interesting. I literally put in like 2 or 3 prompts into Gemini. You could go a lot deeper, or go grab, if you participated last year, go grab the data and throw it into Gemini or your Chat GPT or whatever, and see what it gives you. I think you'll be really surprised at what you can get out of it. Okay, our next program, let's see, is Artificial Intelligence Excellence Awards. Now, this is a 7-year-old program. It's one of the oldest AI programs that I know of, and we come up in that in February. And so we've rewarded, God, probably thousands of companies now, or pretty close to it. And everybody from Intuit and TD Bank and ADP to large and small and everything in between. And this is the one that is near and dear to my heart because it's so much fun to read the winning nominations, to see what's going on in the AI space. So again, I'll throw it out there. If you're not a judge, please sign up to be a judge. Just if nothing else, you can get some interesting stories out of the nominations.
And also, I will add that this is the program that has the most changes through the years,
That's right.
as it evolves. And it is a learning experience for us too, to kind of be able to accommodate everybody's needs into this program. So to add to that, if you ever have a client or you are a client and you would like to enter, you don't see your category, you don't understand the category, I will say the best advice I can give you is talk to your product engineer. Have them go through your product. Have them go through the categories and they should tell you where that product should fall within that category. We didn't create the product for you. Your engineer did, or the innovator did. There's nobody else that could better tell you where to fit than them.
Yeah, and sometimes I think companies try to overthink it. The categories are meant to either define the market you're going after or the market you're in, depending on the award. And so really just it's what do you want to be known for? Is what I like to tell people is if you want to be known for having generative AI and you think you have a good story to tell in generative AI, then that's your category. If it's some other category, then pick it. Don't overthink it. You can, as many do, submit multiple nominations. So we often see people going for a people win and a company win, or a mix of different award categories. And so, absolutely make sure you're thinking about that as well.
The one thing that I always tell them is if you are a winner, how would you want that to be mentioned on a press release?
Yeah,
And
start from the end in mind.
correct. And then that's when they go, oh, well, we want to be known on the retail experience. Okay, then that's your category. you know, that's where you need to be. It's not, this is probably the easiest program, but the one that most nominees have a difficulty finding a category from.
And I think last year we had a great advisory board. You can go on the website and see who is in that advisory board, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But go through the advisory board process. It was really almost easy to talk to everybody, in the community and have them help us kind of reorganize it because the industry was changing so much. They were so focused on the kind of the scientific angles of AI. Um, Prior to about 3 or 4 years ago. And then once that generative AI boom hit, it kind of the industry almost reorganized a little bit. So really interesting to see that. So if you haven't participated in this big reorg we did, I think last year in the program, and so we'll be launching this one. I was supposed to launch it by today. Sorry, Ellie, but we'll be launching it probably this week or this weekend. So next week it'll be open. The guide will be available, and you'll be able to download it right from the
Russ,
website.
it would be important to mention who the advisory board is that helps with these programs. And it's normally past nominees, winners, or experts within the field that, have knowledge about this program. And it's not just anybody. We have previous nominees that did not win. Then we have winners. Then we have also PR agencies that have different clients within the AI industry that help us, kind of organize the categories in a way where everybody can be included. Um, so if that ever comes to mind and you don't see something that you don't fit on, just reach out and we can certainly guide you through um, what is it that you need to be in, which category is it that you need to be based on your needs and what do you want to get out of this too.
Yeah, and we're going to talk through advisory boards here in a moment too, and we can touch on that again. But they're a huge help in the organization of these award programs and staying current, as Ellie kind of mentioned there. The next one is excellent customer service. Again, another 7-year-old program, another huge program for us. People really love this program. We get a good amount of people here. This is actually a really great program to really focus in on all levels in your organization. I think we have early in career awards of this, categories in this program, and so you can kind of get those people motivated within your organization, not just the products and the companies that are winning. But this is a great program not only for kind of corporate CX organizations, but also the agencies and the tools that are helping them succeed. And so it's that whole kind of customer service universe. So that's coming out in March, and then we announce winners in late April, on my mother's birthday and Earth Day as well this year. So we'll celebrate with mom. This is a great program. Check it out. Again, the QR code on the bottom gets you right to the Excellence in Customer Service Awards. All right, another new program for us. This will be our second year with Evan Kirstel's We Love Tech Awards. And if you didn't hear about this one last year, shame on you. It was a lot of fun. Evan Kirstel is a influencer on social media and TV now. He's actually got a show, I think, on Bloomberg and Fox Television that he hosts all about technology. He's kind of the enterprise tech guy. And he's such a joy to work with. We worked with him to develop this program. And this is really kind of shining a light on those enterprise technologies that are really kind of bringing, kind of technology into the masses and into lives. And it's kind of that life mission. And so this website is not on our website. You can get to it through the WeLoveTechAwards.com website. So again, hit that QR code in the bottom. Again, March deadline, late March, and then we announce winners in the middle of May. You'll see Evan a lot this year at CES. I think he's doing a huge thing at CES and all over the world where he's invited to these shows as an influencer to kind of bring attention to all the different technologies. If you haven't seen his show on YouTube too, I encourage you guys to look at it. It's a really a great podcast to listen to. Okay, next one is the Fortress Cybersecurity Awards. This is again one of our older programs, probably not the oldest cybersecurity, but pretty close. This is an 8-year-old program for us. And this is really to kind of identify all those elite cybersecurity tools, people, and companies out there on the front lines. This has been a great program for us. Ellie, I know you have a lot of fun with this one because it's similar to the AI one of where do you put people and where do I fall and what's my right category.
That is correct. This program, it's tough. Not in a bad way. No, it's because we are talking very technical technology. you know,
Yes,
um, so again, it goes back to AI. It all depends on the industry that you serve, really. We don't want to know like what type of, or not we, the judges look at um, where is the cybersecurity being applied or that we want you to be known for, not the technical part of it. When you go to a client, they don't care what technology you're having. They care about you being protected from, in the cybersecurity field. And, you know, it's just overthinking it. I think that all these programs are so simple that people think, well, it's so simple. I must be missing something. You're not missing anything. They are created with the purpose of saving you time and making it simple for you. Um,
that's right.
you know what I mean? So, same thing as AI. What do you want to accomplish with it?
And there's a lot of crossover here between AI and cybersecurity and the Stratus Awards too. And they're offering you different brand opportunities depending on what you're trying to do. So 8 years in, I love this program. I think it's cool. It's always interesting to see how companies are protecting us because I don't know how it all gets done, and our computers aren't all infected all the time with
Uh,
all the threats out there.
I think it's very important also to mention that while they are technology, all these programs are technology guide, like Fortress, artificial intelligence, cloud computing. Even though they're all technology, they are not tied together. So just because you lost Fortress Cybersecurity Awards does not mean that you're going to lose on the AI side of it. All
Nope.
programs,
New set of judges, new rules, everything, right?
everything's completely separate. And I get a lot of, well, I want to just say, I just only want to nominate Fortress. And I always go back to, but you're also an artificial intelligence company. This program, it's not highlighting your artificial intelligence. The artificial intelligence program is. So you not entering in the different sides of the technology it's not allowing you to be recognized for different areas that you work.
Couldn't agree more. Uh, I know people are short on time, so I don't want to lose anybody. We'll go through these. We've also got the Sammy Awards. This is sales and marketing. We've kind of removed the technology from this and broadened this out into both the creative side and then all the sales tech, martech tools, all of that stuff. So we had a ball with this year, looking at all the creative campaigns and people. This was really a breath of fresh air to see all the kind of creative side on this. And so regardless of any type of if you're in technology or not, you can nominate your sales teams, your marketing teams, and we'll be changing this up and adding some new categories as well once we get a little closer to the opening date. The next one of my favorites is sustainability awards. These are some of the most amazing stories that we get, in my opinion. This is again 10 years running. Great companies, Cargill, Dow, all the ones you see at the bottom, but there's so many smaller companies doing such amazing things. The J. Lore Winery is one of them. I see their wine bottles in the store when I'm in there. I'm always proud to see it because they said they have such a positive mission of sustainability and regenerative growing on their winery. And so it just always pops out into my mind after reading the nominations. So if you're a leader in sustainability, if you have sustainability programs, get some recognition for them. It's not just for the boardroom. It's not just for your reports on your website. Give that team. We put a bunch of team categories in here because most companies have kind of cross-functional and cross-department teams dealing with all the ESG stuff and the reports. I know this firsthand. So please, take a look at this. This has been 10 years running. It's just an amazing way to reward your people and any work you're doing in the sustainability space. We will be adding some of the UN sustainability goals into this. We did that last year. We don't report on those goals or anything. It's just more of a data for us and for us to help promote you. So if you're abiding to those UN sustainability goals, then absolutely let us know. If you're not a big deal. Still tell us about your work. This again was one of those programs where we got some great feedback from the advisory board on this one to help us kind of reshape it a little bit last year. And so I'm excited to have kind of year two under those new kind of rules. Moving through, we've got the Stratus Awards, again, one of our oldest programs. This is cloud computing. We're going to be adding, and we slowly have been adding different kind of technologies into that have been in the cloud. I remember Dockers and Kubernetes coming in and all of those categories. Ellie is on the front line of, hey, we need this category. This is a new technology. And so we're going to be adding a bunch of data center and AI infrastructure into this awards program this year. That seems to be where all the capital is going. So we're going to add some new categories in for that type of stuff. And so look for some changes there. And again, this is, if you're in this space, if you have customers or clients in this space, please join the advisory boards. And we're about to get to that and show you what those are about. We really do need help kind of staying on top of everything that's going on in the industry. So Stratus Awards. Next one is our newest program. This will be our second year for the Horizon Awards. And this one just wrapped up and we just announced the winners last week. And this blew me away. The stories on this one my jaw dropped. I don't read, as I've talked to other people, I don't read every nomination that comes in. We can't. There's too many. And so that's why we rely on our judges. But I read almost all of the winning nominations, and these were just heartwarming stories. And our winner, Maggie Doyne, we did an interview with her, is 19-year-old woman who does a gap year before she goes to college, and she visits India and Nepal and never leaves. And she's out there helping kids and women and building regenerative farms, and it was just an incredible story. And so I encourage you to check this program out. We also have a big charitable aspect and a recognition kind of mechanism for all year in our shout outs. And Ellie, you were a big part of the advisory board building this program out. And we had such a phenomenal time and such a great team on building out this program as well.
Well, it was great to see the leaders that we had guiding us through this program, because we didn't know really how to start at the beginning. We knew.
Well, you didn't want me building this one.
I knew we needed it. I just didn't knew exactly how to go about it. It's just great to see nowadays.
Yeah, that's a great way of saying it. Is that was really the message that came out of all of this, is how tight women are empowering each other. And as I've said before in other mediums, is I had very little to do with this one. The advisory board really kind of led the direction. All I knew is I wanted it to be different than a typical women's awards program. We weren't going to just tap executives on the back and say great job. But we wanted to hear real stories, and we got them, which is pretty awesome. And so if you hit our YouTube or anything, if you go to the website, you'll start to see some of the content that we're producing around the Horizon Awards. And you have to see the advisory board too, because it was just such a great team to help build this program out. And I think probably one of the ones you asked me about the longest that you said everybody was clamoring for, the women's category. This is now our oldest program, the Big Awards for Business, and we're about to announce the winners on this program coming up here in a few weeks, I guess. This is what started it all. This is sentimental to me, because this was the first awards program. That slide that goes back to 2012. This was it, and it was the Big Awards for Business, and we still do this program today. This is an amazing program. This really is that kind of company of the year, product of the year, executive of the year, person of the year program. So general business There are no kind of limitations on technology or anything like our other programs. This is, wide open for everybody. And this is really what started kind of that crowdsourced model that we have of, leveraging real people with expertise to judge the programs, and lots of them, so that you get really good results. So anything to add to this one, Ellie? You've been involved with this probably almost since the beginning.
I think this is the easiest program. I mean, there's really not much to it. Any
The
company,
easiest to nominate, not the
yeah,
easiest to win.
no, the easiest to nominate. Um, yeah, this one is pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty been refined and refined over the years. It'll be interesting to see. We're doing again an advisory board on this program this year, so we'll look to see what you guys want out of that program. So that's kind of the awards calendar. Here's kind of the all the view of this. Again, we'll send the slides out to everybody, but you can get all the deadlines. There's a link right there on the bottom left. That's the one page. If you're going to bookmark something, that's the page I would bookmark. It just gives you all the awards to different awards programs and all their deadline dates. So we want to give you a little bit of an update. I know we're running long. We've got a few more minutes here to kind of talk a little bit about kind of what we're doing to enhance the programs, what we've done to kind of change the programs, if you've noticed or not. And so the first thing is if you want to get updates about us, the best thing to do is to join our newsletter on LinkedIn and make sure you're on our email list too. If you subscribe to this, you're getting good content about how to win awards, what's working, what award programs to enter. And then you're also seeing information about all our winners and judges and opportunities to share information with the community. So hit us up on LinkedIn, join the newsletter, follow us. We have Ellie's, in there, I'm in there, and just follow us, connect with us on LinkedIn. One thing we added a couple years ago, I guess at the beginning of last year, are digital certificates. And there was a lot of kind of questions about what are these and how do I use them? And so we've made it pretty easy. There's a video here. You can click on that QR code in the middle to see exactly what these are. These are basically what everybody is now using to show that you have authenticity and that you've been rewarded something that is verifiable. And so if you think about your old diploma that is sitting in a box, mine's down here in a box somewhere, maybe it's on your wall collecting dust. This is what's changing in the industry as we've gone digital. And so now you're not getting that physical certificate or that physical diploma. You're now getting digital ones. My son graduated from college last year, and when he got a paper diploma, I was amazed. But if you flipped it over, there was a QR code. If you QR coded, it went back to the university and you could verify that it was real. So that's what this is. We now have verifiable awards. You don't just get a trophy, you're now getting a digital certificate. And once you claim these, you can share it on LinkedIn, you can add it to Twitter, you can put it all over the place. You can even download it to your blockchain wallet and show all your friends, which is pretty fun. But this is how you start to collect recognition and certificates and recognition in the business world. So that's all about blockchain certificates. Next is our influencer index. I'm not going to let too much out of the bag here, other than what's on the slide here. This is coming soon, but in 2026, we're going to be adding a whole new program called the Influencer Index. It'll go across industries, across almost every industry, and it'll really start to provide authenticity and credibility for the share of voice that people have, especially on LinkedIn, but in the community. And so we're working with our partners over at StackRank to develop this, and we'll soon be launching this, hopefully at the very beginning of the new year. So stay tuned for that. Here is your opportunity to help us and help yourself. And so this is our advisory boards. And so these are just a few of the friends and people we've met along the way who have helped us kind of start to shape our awards programs and to keep them current. On the bottom there, you can see a bunch of dates that we have coming up. Some have passed and some are coming up on when we're going to be doing advisory boards for the rest of the year. And so I strongly encourage you, if you're interested in any of these programs, to go into the website. It's a simple form. You can sign up to be on any of our advisory boards, and we'll let you know if you're in or out. But most of the time, we need more people. So we always have a great time on these. The ask here is for maybe a couple of hours of time over a video conference, going through the program, and then also kind of talking about the industry. We have a very structured conversation around what needs to change and if we need to make any changes to the awards programs. Usually just about an hour or two a year per awards program. So please hit the QR code there, and you're invited to join the advisory board. Next is we're hosting a certificate in award marketing. And this is going to be a great opportunity for a few brands to get in front of our audience. And we're asking for PR marketing agencies and former winners, any marketing people out there, to help us develop the content, to get a share of the session, and to kind of start to coach new and up and coming marketers and new and up and coming award marketers on how to best do this. And so this is a great chance for a few companies to get involved with us and to develop this class. We are coming very close up to it. We're going to launch it on December 9th, but we're asking for kind of a pretty light lift on expertise that you already have in-house. So if you're interested in doing this, just reach out to Ellie or I, and we can talk to you about it and start developing your content. If you'd like to participate and invite your people to it, you can hit the QR code there on the bottom right. And this is going to be basically 3 hours, kind of 6 to 10 different sessions on how to win awards, what's your award strategy, how to use them after the fact, after winning, what happens if you don't win, and how to measure it all. So basically a certificate in award marketing. So please join us for that. And as we say, get your degree. We also want to talk a little bit about recognition as a service. And I think we're now calling it more the case study machine, because that seems to resonate more with people, right, Ellie? So Ellie's on mute.
We didn't realize that Russ also was a, um, type of cybersecurity thing. So people
There-
confused with,
That's right. There's a lot of as a services out there.
yeah.
So what is this? This is we call it the case study machine. This is where we help organizations and individuals and corporations build out awards programs for various different reasons. In corporations, this is a great opportunity basically to build a case study machine. Every one of these nominations that we get, we read, and you read it, and it is a case study for a company, a product, or a person. And so what we do is we turn that kind of ship around and basically give you the tools to run your own awards program and reward your customers for doing what they do best, which is to use your products to improve their business. So if you're interested in this, let us know. It's great for affinity groups and associations. As you saw earlier with Evan, we do it with influencers, and now we're also doing it with businesses. There's lots more on the website too. So this is, I don't think many people know this. We run the NAA Top Employers Award. This is a program much like the Best Places to Work, but it's top employers. And so we run that for the apartment industry. And then I talked about it earlier. This was, a program that we developed with Evan, for an influencer marketing campaign, and really to help Evan engage with his audience. And he's always looking for more ways to engage with his audience. So the final thing we're going to talk a little bit about, Ellie's been asking me for a long time, maybe more than the women's categories in the women's award program, is can you document what winning is worth? And we've been struggling with this because as marketers, a lot of times we do things and you don't know the real value of it until there's results, or you may never know the impact of your billboard or your ad. It had a result if nobody clicked on it, but because people saw it. And so we did a big investigation and we asked ChatGPT, what's winning worth? And we put in basically, hey, ChatGPT, here's the stuff that we give to our winners. What is it worth? And it gave us just like that sample Best Places to Work Awards data. It gave us a really, a really great result, like a really detailed report. And so this was kind of the results of it. And basically, you can see on the screen, we came up with this value of somewhere between $3,000 and $6,000. And so we have this plan and the trophy and everything that we've been through, the press releases, the social media that we do. All of it's somewhere between $3,000 and $6,000. So your return on investment, that's pretty good if you win. Usually we're under $1,000 for an award nomination, and you're getting, 3 to 6 times your money back. But we keep adding and try to add value and try to keep up with the trends. We've done big push into video, big push into social media, and now into the certificates and blockchain certificates. And so now we're adding an entire new media group called the Winners Circle. And what this really is a new winners package that's geared around getting you better results in all the search engines and all the generative engines for optimizing those results. So we're developing these winner pages, web pages. So every winner will have a new web page that you'll be able to customize and keep on your own. You'll be able to edit it, and it'll basically be information about your win. We now have a new podcast and video series that we'll talk about. All of our winners will have an opportunity to participate in the podcast, also have a blog post about that podcast. And then we have extended social media, all as part of that Winner's Circle package. And this is all optional that you can take advantage of on a kind of on a per award basis. And so now we kind of went back to ChatGPT and we said, what's this worth now? We added this value to the program. And so we've got this podcast and clips, your winner's profile page, blog feature article, and then all the new social media that kind of goes along with that. By the way, that's a picture of Maggie Doyne there with Blink Now. That was our Horizon Award winner. And that's really, if you want to listen to a great story, that's the one I would listen to. She actually they did a documentary on her that's going to be an Academy Award winner, hopefully this year. So really interesting story. But we added it all up, and then we think we've added about another $3,000 to $6,000 worth of media. And so you add that back into our original kind of what's a winning worth. And now you're up from 3 to 6 to into that $6,000 to $11,000 range with all the new media assets.
I want to add to this, what you're saying, Russ, is, again, we can give you the tools, we can't do the work for you. So while we give you the winners package, if you don't act on it, if you don't follow through with it, if you don't reshare, repost, your worth is not going to be seen. Because you are acquiring from us a third-party validation, right? You need to share that also with your clients. And if you don't help doing that, you're not going to see the value of it, even though the value is there. You're just not taking advantage of it. So it's really, really, really important to use that winners package to your advantage. And I see it all the time. People that won and they don't even know that they won. Even though the press release has been out, even though they've been tagged on all the posts, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it always amazes me, and we think it's deliverability. And I know sometimes it's email deliverability. You might get caught in a spam trap or something, but a lot of times it's you weren't paying attention. People just miss it, and you got to remember to put those dates in your calendar of like, hey, I was supposed to get notified by March 1st on that. Where's that email? Yeah. The other thing too, of where I didn't change any of the numbers. I just asked ChatGPT for this stuff. And so you can go replicate this. You probably need to put in a little bit about us in there, but because that's all I did. I think there's something that's actually lowballed here, and that's the feedback from our judges. And so that's a value of $300 to $600. I've heard from a lot of people that was probably the most valuable thing of the entire process. If you go look at the judges who are reading and scoring your nominations, and then a lot of them provide feedback. That is expert level feedback. These are product managers, solution managers, executives for some very impressive companies all over the globe. And so if you're not reading that feedback and getting that feedback back to your product team and your marketing teams, take another look at that, because it's raw, but it is extremely valuable. And so I think that number is actually a little low.
Russ, can you, Christina is asking, she wants to know a little bit more.
Yep. So the podcast is now up and running, and basically when you get your winners package, there will be an opportunity for you to sign up and to have your winning team or person or executive on the podcast. You can also go to YouTube and look it up. It's the Business Intelligence Group Winner Circle podcast. I think I've got a couple of slides here in it real quick. But, back on this, we'll get to the podcast in a second. It's, we wrote an article on this. It really does help if you're running into any challenges with, getting, an $800 nomination through your CFO. This is the article you ought to read and the slide you ought to provide him or her. Uh, Opportunities for sponsorships, absolutely. Just need to call us. There's always opportunities for that type of thing. Again, here's all the awards calendar, and that's kind of the rest of it. Is this is we have programs throughout the year. I always say there's a blog I wrote earlier in the year called I think develop your good news calendar, your good news flow. This is, if you're in corporate marketing, the awards are really a perfect opportunity to do that. Look in your calendar when you might be having quarterly results or other things going on in your business. Always make sure that you have good news in your pipeline, and that's really how I got involved in all of this crazy award business, is looking for news for the companies that I worked for. So, Ellie, any parting comments this year for our as we go into the 2026?
Not really. I think we went through it. We talk about it. I think that um, we would like to see more nominations for people,
Yes.
and recognize people. I think nominees forget how much recognizing the people that work for you can also help in the recruiting process. Um, and I don't think people are not looking into it in the way that it should be looked at. It's very surprising because normally is the category that we get the less nominations on, when it should be the category that gets the most nominations. Um, just because of the benefits that you get out of it.
Yeah, it was interesting when I did that little analysis today of those survey results for the Best Places to Work awards. I started going through the executive summary and I asked it to provide some recommendations on how to improve those results. And it was all about recognition. It was about starting an internal recognition program, sharing more information with employees, doing, kind of getting down to the blocking and tackling of recognition and transparency inside of a business. And so I couldn't agree more. The people are, lifeblood of companies, and we're not seeing enough people nominations, and people need that. So, yeah, let's do that this year.
Also, I feel like who doesn't want to be told that you're doing something good for your company? I like to know that I do a good job with my nominations, right? I can even imagine other executives not wanting that. Um, People is what makes a business successful, really. Without people, nobody will achieve a certain level of success. So I think we really need to, as companies enter, they should really look back as to who helped them achieve that success and recognize them.
Who's moving that needle? And if you don't see a program that helps us elevate people at all levels, let us know. Get on these advisory boards and help us too, because we want to be helping people at every level. It's especially those early in career people. I remember getting recognition early in my career, and it gives you such a lift and it gives you such confidence. So I couldn't agree more. I really appreciate everybody joining. I know a few people had to leave, but thank you so much for joining. We're looking forward to having an awesome 2026 and our 14th year of doing this. So thank you for the ride. And we hope everybody gets engaged and follow us on social media and just be part of this just amazing community. So thanks, everybody. And we'll be in touch sooner than later.
Thank you.